Good morning, everybody. I'll be like Jeff and shine the camera right into the sun. So I hope you liked the little video clip that he put together. Well, I wouldn't say little video clip. It was a good little episode there. He worked probably about 7 or 8 hours editing that, putting it together. So I'm grateful he did that. It added a little fun to it. But this morning I'm going to jump on the excavator. I got to go down there, get the dump truck, load that pile up. Mechanic is coming. We're going to figure out that AC belt, and I need a hand with, that's really not that big of a deal, but I need a hand with the bucket right here. Got to put some shims in some spots here. It's getting, I swear it's wobbling more than my old machine. This has gotten about a 1/4 inch of play in it. That's supposed to be like that because that rotates. And one of my rubber O-rings has fell out right here. So we're either going to put, I got some new O-rings, or put some metal shims in there to get that tight. I'm tired of the bucket wobbling back and forth on a pretty much brand new machine. I had to bring my leaf blower to blow some dust off of it. So I'm going to load this up real quick and turn the machine off so it's not so hot for him. He's got to take the injection pump off the motor grader, and there's some seals he's got to rebuild. It's dumping a lot of diesel fuel into oil, so that's no bueno. Roller's got a leak on it, so he's going to be busy today, and I'm going to be busy today. This stuff is almost as bad as ashes to load. It's a little dusty. So I'm taking this dusty dirt and dumping it. That's the first pond up here. There's a property line right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up a little bit more and stockpile this. When we dig his basement for his house, we got a lot of extra dirt. I'm going to come in here and undercut all this. This is actually some pretty decent topsoil. It's about the only topsoil on this farm. So we're going to come in here and dig a few loads of this out and then swap out that dirt from the basement. And hopefully he can get a little bit of topsoil out of the deal. Unfortunately, there's just not much out here, and the topsoil that is here is obviously in the woods. So trying to get any of that is impossible without knocking down trees, and I think we've taken down about all the trees we want to. So let me back up here and dump this load of dust out. Dust is brutal. All right, so the AC compressor, it pivots on the top bolt. It was too hot for me to crawl up in there that day and look and see, but we got that figured out. We got an extra shims. Well, I got an extra set of hands. We're going to drive these pins out. That's got a good play in it. That's supposed to be like that. And then we're going to fix that, because I don't like the side-to-side movement on that. And then probably throw a couple more in there just to make everything nice and tight. Yeah. Looky there. So we're gonna put the shims in there that like should have been in there.
All on one side, or you want to split it?
Oh, let's split it so it's even. I got thick and thin. Well, I got one thick one and two thin. Let's put the thick one on that side. I think there's one in there. That should be interesting. Customer's not always right.
Say that again.
I said the customer is not always right.
Yeah.
Customer states this should have been done
At the factory. Yeah, I remember talking about that.
at the dealer.
Yeah, dealer. And
The good thing is Chris greases a lot, so.
so it shouldn't have been done at the factory.
Well,
Or at the
this
dealer?
should have been done at the dealer. I don't know why.
So the customer is right.
Customers are. I'll try that. Smooth. You need a little tappy tap.
Yeah, it's just off a little bit.
Just
Yeah, I see it.
Just a little bit. It sounds like your neighbor's coming with the mower to tell us about his tractor that he took down for the 15th time.
Yep, looks
He
like
doesn't
he's
watch
coming
these-
around the corner.
He doesn't watch these videos, does he?
I don't know. No, he's got a flip phone. I'm not kidding.
So it actually is going to have to, we'll have to lift up on it a little bit. I
Yeah,
think.
that side needs to go up.
Done settled a little bit.
Yeah, it's off a little.
Oh, Lord.
And there's not that much movement, so may have to crank it up.
Have to fire it up. I'd let Jeff do it, but I don't know how smooth the movements would be.
No. We don't need to throw y'all into the woods.
Oh no.
Do you need a clamp? Maybe just clamp it.
Alright, we decided that seem a lot more better.
So that's real tight. Yeah.
Well,
You could shove one more in there.
let's put one on this side.
Okay.
It's not going to get any tighter. The boom may be losing down there as we're talking. We're going to put it on this side, correct? Oh, more better. Got it? There we go. Tap it in. Tap it in. The greasy side probably goes in. We're making stuff where it doesn't cling and under. That's always good. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Making it difficult for the next mechanic. You heard that next mechanic, right? You only get
My replacement.
you only get to ring one off. We'll find another one. One down. I figured we'd do the easiest one first.
Build our confidence for the next one.
That one's fine. So I'm gonna raise the thumb up and then we'll tackle
Okay.
that aggravate. Alright, let me find the right one. Oh, you done knocked the pin in. Well, I can match it up on that side, I think. So I got a bunch of different shims. Some are the right size and some are not. I'm gonna get the ones that are the right size.
Which ones will the O-ring go around?
I see. I haven't got that far yet.
I have a torch.
You have a torch.
I have a torch.
Can you make the inside diameter bigger but still look smooth? See, like that one's not going to fit. These will. So I think that's a plenty.
That is more than plenty.
More than a plenty. Now they're all greasy
O-ring.
for us.
Oh, will fit.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's made to fit.
Made to fit.
Shims keep it in place. O-ring keeps dirt out. Somewhat.
Somewhat.
It helps. It helps.
What's the likelihood the O-ring pops right through on the first try?
Do what?
What's the likelihood the O-ring pops right through on the first try?
Well, I don't know. Everything's 50-50 at this game.
That looks pretty good.
Is that too much, or do we need to do too thicker one? Maybe you can pull it a little bit and gain. Let me try those two thinner ones back. I think that made a little bit more. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So we got to put O-ring in, or are we going to try to put this through as an assembly?
Ooh.
We're going to have to. We're going to have to somehow fit this right here through there. Let's concur?
Maybe.
If else, how else are we going to get that through
We'll
there?
pull the pin the rest of the way out and lift the boom up a little bit.
Well, you're going to have to pull the pin out some more anyways, because
For sure.
for sure. Where's your fancy doodad? Yep.
You want to run this in?
Yeah, I can hold the dumb end. As long as you got good aim.
I will hit it one time.
Customer needs to hold better. We're good. I see daylight through there. This is not going to be fun.
It's not going to work easy. And you took all the grease off. We need some assembly lube.
I'm pretty sure there's still some left in there. How do you want to go about this?
Let me see that ring.
Where's your thing? I'll pry it over. Was it seem tighter than it was?
It dropped.
No.
Yeah. I think we are going to have to pick it up.
Pull it out of there
Mm-hmm.
and then set it back in?
Yep.
So take the whole pin out?
I believe so. And we probably need to go ahead and crank the machine or let, we'll give it a couple more whacks. We may have to let it down a little bit or go up. I can't tell.
Okay. You can just drop it out and then stick it in there and then hammer it back through as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have both of them in there and then drop it back in?
Yep.
Well, that was a little bit of an ordeal, but we got it. Took a lot of finesse. And I didn't catch it on video when I finessed it too much. And we started back at square one.
That's past square one. I think square one was closer.
Yeah, I think square one was a little closer. I decided that I would use the foot control to, make it a little easier. And I knocked the thumb about 4 inches out of alignment and the shims and everything. So we had to take a moment for that one. But it appears we've gotten everything in here very, very tight now. Got the dust seal back in there. O-ring, I guess you can call it a dust seal. The dust seal is actually in the stick, but that is kind of a seal as well. So hopefully that'll be a lot better than it was. I think we can put one more shim in right here, but I think we're going to put it in on this side because it's going to take a lot less effort. And moving that over 1/8 of an inch is not going to make that big of a deal. Look at that. So much better. No side-to-side movement in the bucket anymore. You're always going to get a little deflection in the stick. Look at that. I'm happy. Now, it did take us the better part of 3 hours to do that. An hour might have been because of my misfortune in operating. Think I need to take... Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? So, I picked up the blocks and held them. I think I can't hold and operate. You're going to have to hold the camera. So his big oak blocks, I put them in the truck for him.
You gonna retry? Okay.
I can't clear the welder with the bucket, so
It's close enough.
I don't want to buy you a new welder. Well, we decided to turn today into a maintenance day. Got to keep on track of everything. Got an air leak on the dump truck. Need to change the gear oil in the drive motors. Felt it was a good day for a pizza party.
Pizza party.
Got deep dish, thin crust. It's great.
Mountain Dew.
And Mountain Dew. What more could you ask for? You're going to be here every day.
The porta potty, a dumpster, food,
Drinks,
shade
water, cloud cover.
The Chris stopped taking down our trees.
Billy Bob over here bought a farm with nothing but trees on it, wants pasture.
Yeah.
And we're off. Got some new gear oil in the drive motors. Bucket is all nice and tight now. Took the better part of the morning here, but that's done now. We had our little pizza party. Looked at a couple things on the off-road truck. Was able to find the plug for the drop box for the back drive shaft, and it needed a little bit of gear oil. Got that topped off. New primer pump going on the roller. Injection pump's got to come off the motor grader to go get resealed tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to go over here to the fuel trailer and put some grease in there since we pretty much raked it all out, taking the pin out. And then go down there and stack up the first burn pile that I've been dumping over there beside the pond. Actually see out the windows now. Man, that dust is something else. But I'm back down here. Well, I've never been down here with the excavator yet, but I'm down here to where I was dumping all the brush at, and and I am going to stack up all the truckloads into a pile here. I don't know if I'm going to stack them all up. The pile might get kind of big, but get it a little more condensed here. That way, when the weather is right, I can attempt to burn it. Or I may let it dry out some more. And I don't know, it kind of needs to be burnt down so it doesn't get too much bigger. Then I'm probably going to start on the house lot over here, getting some of that stuff down and crunched up, kind of opening up the footprint for that. I will show you more of that once I get all this stacked up and go over there and show you what the game plan is. So it's nice for this stuff to sit out for a few days. It allowed it to dry out a little bit. That would burn pretty good right there. Trying to get everything laid back a little bit farther away from the wood line. If I cremate a couple of those pine trees, it's definitely not going to be the end of the world. By no means, but trying not to burn this oak tree up that's over to my right. How much stuff came from up front. Well, I got another pile over there. It's got like 5 or 6 truckloads in it on the other side of the pond dam, where I was going to originally burn, but it was going to be winter time, so there wasn't going to be no leaves on the trees, so I could burn between those oak trees and not worry about cremating them. So I put as much as I felt comfortable over there before I was like, this might not be a great idea. Lots of brush. Alright, I'm going to finish stacking some more of this up, and then I'll walk the house lot with you, show it, and get to taking some of those trees down. Oh, big grapple full. That was like half a truckload. Here we go. We're going for it. Still nice and dusty. So I got most of the brush stacked up onto the burn pile. So here is house lot number 2. It starts from that stake, goes up where the orange ribbons are. So it's 245 feet wide and 500 and some feet deep. So, but that is including some of this that's already cleared. But we're gonna clear an acre back because they have the septic right here for a gravity feed system. So I'm gonna start right here and clear back about 200 and some feet and clear it about 180 foot wide, so maybe a little bit farther back to get the acre. But I'm gonna start right here, and it goes to that stake right there to the left of that oak tree up through the woods right there. So I'm gonna work on clearing this back right here and heading back in there. Unfortunately, all this is just pretty much junk, so it's all gonna get crunched up and put into the burn pile, which there may be 2 of them, one right here and one back there. Knocking trees down. Working on taking this first pass down. Ground is super hard and dry, so therefore the trees don't come down near as easy as I thought they were going to. But it'd be like that sometimes. But luckily they're small enough to just kind of wing, bang, bing, boom here, crunch, crunch, snap. Put them there in the pile, and then come back and pull each one up. So it's like Jeff just commented, he's like, why don't you just bring the big dozer over here and push them all over? Well, it would push them over, but it would all snap them off at the ground. I mean, literally, this machine weighs about 20,000 pounds more, and it's literally struggling to pull up a 6-inch pine tree, or that was like a 4-inch pine tree. So it sounds good, but it doesn't work in this type of dirt. It just don't work. Then you end up with a bigger mess than you had if you just sat here and broke it all up with the excavator. So that's the reasoning why. But at least I'm getting some of this knocked down and crunched up, because this is pretty monotonous to sit here and do all day long. And I'll come back tomorrow, and if I can burn, I might set that pile on fire up there. And if it's not, I'll probably just keep on clearing away right here. And then Saturday morning, moving the 953 back to the house and taking the other 220 to another little clearing project. Actually, it's the first pond that I did with the very first Volvo, so it'll be a fun little recap. He wants to take a few more trees down and grade out the backside of the dam a little better so he can mow it, or behind the dam, I guess. But we shall see. I'll try to get that knocked out while it's dry, because that tends to become a wet area. There's a lot of springs in the bottom, but I'll recap that this weekend when I take the machine over there and work on that. But the machine does seem to operate a lot better and not be so clanky feeling with the bucket not sliding back and forth a half an inch. So I'm happy we took the time to fix that. And the AC, the compressor was on a pivot, so you don't tighten the belt, you had to undo the compressor or loosen it up and twist it down a little bit. So, but you had to come up from underneath because you couldn't get to it from above, so that's why I couldn't figure out how to adjust it without taking the belly pans off. So should be good to go for now, hopefully. Hopefully, and there's going to be a lot of stuff here. This mess adds up. Let's see. See, everything just breaks off here at the ground level. Let's see if this thing's even got enough power to pull up that stump. Barely. So much work to do. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep plucking away at. Well, at least I got a little head start this afternoon. I'll come back in the morning and start veering off back into the back and heading down the property line. Gonna leave 40 feet on each side and keep making my way back, and hopefully it doesn't look like the pine trees are going to get any thinner. They were pretty dense right here, so it took a little while, but seem to be coming down a little bit easier now. Good morning, everybody. Nice cool morning here, no breeze. Pond's nice and slick all the way across. I'm going to start up the excavator. I'm going to work some more on lot 2 today. Clearing that, I'm going to grab some pink ribbon and flag. So that's the property line right there. I'm going to come in about 40 feet and flag that. 30-40 feet, we're going to kind of leave a buffer on each side, and that way it's just a little bit more easier for me to see that while I'm clearing. For some reason, orange ribbon is hard to see. Doesn't stand out quite as good as the bright pink does, so I'm going to flag my clearing limits there in pink ribbon. That way I don't mix up the property line from my clearing limits there. So let's get started. Starting to head down the property line, making a pass, laying everything into the opening that I've already cleared. And I walked in there this morning and kind of flagged everything, and it seems like pretty much about where I need to stop clearing is where it thins out at, where it would make it a lot easier to clear. But that is definitely towards the back of the lot, and the whole purpose is to build up here so you can overlook the pond there. So that's why we are clearing this area right here. But it is dense, and it is all crap. So I flagged about 30 to 40 feet off of the property line on both sides. I swear it looks wider than 200 feet. Well, I mean, that would put it down to about 190 or so. So I'm going to clear not quite to the line that I flagged, because it's easier to come back and knock some more down than to try to put trees back up. So that's my philosophy. Get in here and get the center section cleared, opened up, kind of see what we got, and then if I need to run down the edge and take it back another 10 or 15 feet or whatever, I could very easily do that. So all this stuff's just going to get laid out on the ground. That'll give it time to kind of dry out some, and whenever the weather becomes right, I can be able to burn it. Right now it is too dry. Normally I hate this little these little saplings and stuff like this, but as hard as the ground is, they actually come out fairly easy compared to the pine trees. They're becoming a little aggravating, and they're 70 feet tall and 4 inches around. You kind of got to sit there and break them up. So it's a kind of a multi-step process it turns into. But there's only 10,000 of them on this lot. Yeah, little sapling. Just try to get everything facing one direction, because it always makes it easier when it's time to come back and grab the piles if it's not all crisscrossed. Yeah, man. Yeah. about the tooth. Definitely going to play it safe and stay about 10 feet or so from my clearing limits. I just feel like a little more buffer will be better for right now, especially since I'm burning this stuff in the lot. That way if I cremate a couple trees on the outside edge, then I can take them down, and it won't be any of the trees we're trying to save. As you can tell, I'm going to have a lot of stuff to burn. So, all right. So the lot's coming along slow but steadily. I got that big row there and just made another row right here. And I'm going to clear back another 40 feet and then go down that way, and probably one more after that, maybe two more. That should be at the limits that I should be clearing for now, I think. Have to measure it out once I get the next couple passes down. Still breaking trees down. Been slacking on the videos. It's a little monotonous. One after another. Nothing too exciting, but I'll get a couple little clips here and probably combine yesterday and today's videos together and make one video for clearing the lot. Once I get doing the easements through the woods, that'll be a little more interesting there, a little more selective, and just aggravating because these freaking trees are so hard to get out of the ground. Literally got to sit here and dig on a little 6 to 8 inch pine tree. Everything in rows. I don't see enough rain on the forecast anytime soon. It's supposed to rain a fair amount today, but that doesn't look very promising now. So I don't know when I'll be able to try to burn, so I guess this stuff can dry out some. If it does rain, I would like to try to burn that other pile over there. I think it's dry enough where that one would burn. That other little pile up front. Got other stuff to do. It'll take me probably 2 to 3 days to clear that easement back there. That's going to take a while. It's a fair amount of work to clear and load the brush out. pine trees are getting a little smaller right here, so that does make life a little bit easier. Not quite so much stuff. It's just a bunch of overgrown. I'm pretty sure that all this was logging cut over. Just a bunch of crap is what it is. I still have a lot more to do, so I'm gonna keep on plucking away at it. So lot number 2 is really opening up. Got a good buffer right there. Got to keep in mind the trees did come all the way out to right there. There was a big point right here, so I'm pretty far back. So I think about another, I need to measure it out, but I think about another 40 feet is gonna put the put it at the clearing limits at kind of what we had figured on doing, an acre, and then I got to clear the easement for the driveway back there. So that's the plan for that. Let this stuff kind of dry out a little bit. I'm gonna pile it up right here in the center and burn it. I left a few extra trees along this edge right here, so if the wind does change and I burn a couple tops, I can just knock those down, and we won't have any dead trees right here on the edge. So we'll I'll be back here Monday and get some more stuff on the ground.